2, 3, as if you are protecting the Queen of Pentacles within yourself, with carrying these wands to the other side. That's like the journey that she asked you to go on in order to achieve what it is that you need in terms of your destiny. And your hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Hansen, and welcome to SeaGoat Secrets. So Capricorn, to give you a little bit of a background, I am Kristen and I'm a healer. Here you're going to get a full rundown of the astrology for this Leo new moon, and then after I'm going to give you a card reading to pretty much give you all the information you need about how to navigate it and how to better utilize it for your own personal energy. To further follow along in the future when it comes to moon videos, here you can find calendars that I made directly, and they pretty much have a full year rundown of all of the moon transits, and you can be ahead of time in terms of being able to capture the moons and understanding how they affect you directly. Keep in mind, these videos are made for all Capricorn placements, which means they are made for the entire collective because we all have Capricorn and or Saturn placements. Speaking of that, let me know where you are in the world. Put it in the comments. You know I am a global citizen and I like to connect with all of you on a global and worldly level. Be sure to like and subscribe. Now, let's get into this. So, Capricorn, this is the Leo full moon. And this moon is very pivotal, mainly because and I know I've been saying that a lot, but it's with the transits, again, Pluto exiting Capricorn and going into Aquarius, which we are now in, thank goodness. I know internally you guys are feeling lighthearted. There's still issues that you have to deal with. There's still things, I mean, life is life, right? So there's still some things karmically that you're having to clean up, whether it be love, career, finances, or just general life things that are residual fat and weight from the past. I talked about this a little bit earlier. I'm not sure I don't remember which video it was, but I talked about how this Leo full moon will be you addressing those things. And that is because the Leo full moon is in your 8th house. And the 8th house for you, and for everyone, is all about cleaning out the closet. Think of it as a dark room in the back where all of your skeletons go, all of the shadows, all of the darker things. That's also why it represents other people's finances. It can represent debts, taxes, sex, domination, power, all of the things that, not all, some things we like, right? But overall, the other side is the things that we don't always want to face, the shadowy sides of things, and most importantly, the way debts keep us bound and chained, feeling as if though we are tied to things that we don't have control over. So this can show up in terms of financial debts, but even financial debts are still karmic. So any kind of karmic debt are things that you're going to be facing during this full moon. So you've already kind of noticed it because we are in the energy of this moon already, and so conversations tied around loose ends that you need to clear up. So again, old conflicts, people, paperwork, again, financial debt. So anything that could have felt like you already had it covered, but now you're seeing that there's more that you need to do. Things that you've kind of tried to close off, people that you tried to close off, really having to look back and fully close the door. In terms of relationships, most importantly romantically, this full moon is a big deal if you are in a partnership, especially a long-term partnership. You guys have been going through a little bit of a back and forth. Things have been quite blissful, but then they could also be quite confrontational. Depending on the relationship that you're in, you're dealing with some of the shadows of whatever it needs to be addressed or brought up to the surface. And you guys are doing so in order to lead you into the future. And so during this full moon, some secrets could be revealed in terms of love, some conversations that maybe aren't too comfortable to have. secret desires, different things like that. You guys could also be looking at if it's less of a hectic or difficult situation, you guys can just be looking at, again, your joint finances or your joint assets, and seeing ways in which you can tie up some loose ends or some difficult things you have to face. If it's career-wise, you can be leaving a job, you can find out that you are being fired, but it's not necessarily something that it's a difficult situation, but it's not necessarily something that is going to lead you to something negative. So all of the things that are being addressed during this full moon are not comfortable. They're uncomfortable. They are, some can be a little scary because, again, it's the 8th house. So secrets, conversations, obligations that feel quite terrifying. And the reason why is because you're supposed to break these chains and break these bonds. But the reason why I'm saying they're not necessarily, contradicting myself by saying that they're not scary, but then also saying that they're terrifying. The reason why I'm saying that is because it's a space in between where they are things that you need to address and things that you need to fix and finish. However, it's going to lead you to a better place. So it is that space of the emotions that you're going through or having to face these things, especially because you guys, just based on the amount that you've had to juggle alone and all of that you have been going through, there are some things you just needed to put away so that you could deal with life in itself. There were just some things that you just could not get to or go to because you were trying to take care of something else. And so they can feel like, oh, geez, I did not want to look at this, or I did not want to address this. I'm afraid to open this door. I'm afraid to really dive into this. It could be that you're afraid to look someone in the face. It could be afraid that you're afraid to reveal a secret. You could be afraid of, for those of you that are single or trying to create some kind of relationships, you could be afraid to do that. You could be afraid to create a close bond with someone or go to another level in terms of a relationship and having to face that person, face the shadow parts of yourself that this person will be more than likely bringing up for you. Also, it could be having to face some things in terms of debts, karmic debts, some ways in which you've trespassed against others, some accountability that you need to take, or if you want to talk directly financially or in terms of paperwork, legal matters, the kind of things that are making you uncomfortable that you don't necessarily want to look at and you don't have solutions for and you might be a little nervous of. It's a scary feeling to have to open that door and say, oh, geez, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to face this, So it's okay. Take a deep breath, breathe it out. You're going to be okay. Confirmation. You're going to be okay. All of these things, again, are coming into formation so you can clear them out. It does not mean that at the end of this, or if you go into this conversation or this dynamic, it's going to lead to some big, terrible moment. It's to make it so that you can address, so you can close out karmic cycles, so you can close out the things that you have been dealing with for good. So it is a positive moon in terms of pushing you forward, but it's just not necessarily a comfortable one. Financially, you could find yourself having to pay for something that you feel like you're not ready for. In terms of paperwork, there can be, again, things that you did not expect to see or did not expect to have to deal with coming up to show itself. There's something about, or relationships, more problems. So there's something about this moon that's going to be leaving you kind of feeling like, just when I felt like everything was okay, here we are having to deal with this. Just when I feel a little bit more balanced, here we are having to deal with this. That is okay. It is an issue that you can have control over. It is a situation that you can get through. Lean into optimism in order to get you to where it is that you need to go. There will be a renewal in terms of your second house in February. So when the Aquarius new moon comes around, it's going to be a renewal in things like second house matters. Eighth house matters are the things that kind of weigh us down in terms of karmically, debt-wise, financially, whereas the second house is going to bring a renewal. So if you have to spend it, understand that it will come back. Karma is on your side. Remember that. The Jupiter transit is working in terms of your luck. So if you have to spend it, it will return. If it's a secret that gets revealed, it will be something that will end up working in your favor somehow. If it is something difficult that you have to address or face, it's there to lead you into a better space. So don't be afraid to look in the mirror. Don't be afraid to look in that closet. That thing has been sitting there for a while, and as it's been sitting there, you need to address it in order to get you to the next step. So that's what's going on in terms of this 8th house energy. Now, that on a positive note, in terms of a more simplistic energy, you guys are going to be feeling very sensuous. You're prioritizing your pleasure. You're prioritizing what you need in terms of the depths of your relationships and your connections, and most importantly, the hyper focus that you have on your finances, which started during Aquarius season. Now Aquarius is in Pluto. It's all about your money. It's all about the way in which you want to make more money and how you want to prioritize yourself financially. So what it is that will come up for this Leo new moon is just going to give you even more momentum in order to push you toward a more financially stable reality. In terms of love and sex, things are going to get real hot and heavy if you are in a relationship or if you are involved. If you are involved with anyone, things can feel very passionate, being unapologetic about the ways in which you want to express yourself sexually, and especially in terms of being more authentic and bringing out more of that secretive side of yourself. You want to share more of your fetishes. You want to feel as comfortable as possible in the bedroom, which is going to feel really good. And those, again, are secrets that are working in your favor, secrets that are working in terms of your progression forward, which will be nice. For those of you who are singles, on a positive note, you can see a relationship pushing itself forward during this full moon. So yes, you might have some uncomfortable conversations or things may be revealed to you, but it can work in a sense where you are being able to push forward or move forward with someone that you have had your eye on, which is nice. Or you can choose to leave. But either way, it's going to work in your favor. So if you decide to leave the situation, it is because you desire to, and that's the best thing for you. If you decided to stay into it, it's because it's working in your favor and the person wants to be with you. Nonetheless, it's a good feeling. I don't want you to be afraid of this moon just because it's in Leo, just because it's in your 8th house. All the things that are coming up are there so that you can trim the fat, okay? So look at that. Pay attention to it. Don't be afraid to dive deep because it's going to get you on the other side, which is the remainder of Aquarius season where things are a lot more lighter. But again, it's all about, and I'm going to talk about this in the February personal video, but February is all about the way you're thinking, how your mindset is, and how you're looking at things. And your mindset is going to be the thing that is going to make it so that you can shift your reality in a way that works in your favor. But you have to get on top of it and you have to get in control of how you're looking at it. And this moon is a great way to begin that process. Because it is so dark, because it is the 8th house, ask yourself, well, how am I going to choose to look at this? How am I going to choose to feel about this? Because your response to it will change the way in which it shows up in your life. Okay, if there is conflict, there can be solutions if you allow them. If there is new love blossoming, but it may not be the most conventional, it can come to fruition if you allow it. If you're running through financial issues or financial strain, it can be the beginning of a new financial level of stability if you allow it. Okay, so this moon is great because it's leading us into a new era, which is nice. And here we are at the beginning of this Pluto transit, having to address the 8th house. And that is fine. It's best to start in the dark in order to lead us to the light, especially as we're going into a renewal with the Aquarius new moon. So that's it for this, for the astrology. Let's get into the reading now. So, your healing points. Your feelings. Okay. Hi, Capricorn. Let's get into this, shall we? Okay, so for your subject, we've got the 7 of Swords, and that is backed up by the 10 of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. And that is now clarified with transcending obstacles and risks and options. And the first thing that sticks out to me, especially with what's going on in your shadow, is the fact that there is some risky business afoot. But I wouldn't say this necessarily feels so heavy. It's more like you yourself are going through kind of doing things by any means necessary. This feels like you, not necessarily someone else stealing from you, but what it is that you will do in order to get to where it is that you need to go. Because underneath is your desire for this Queen of Pentacles energy. You want to feel abundance. You know you need to get to a place of stability, but not just any kind of stability. It's stability deep within yourself. So a sense of worthiness and value internally. You need to nurture yourself. This feels very financial, like financial nurturing, value nurturing. It goes within whatever it is that you're going to get. You're doing it by any means necessary. You're taking all the corners, you're cutting every crevice. You're getting very, very strategic, borderline devious with what it is that you are doing in order to achieve this ability to bring forth this balance, because you're carrying these wands, you're carrying this burden, and you will see through the other side by any means necessary, because you know you need to get to this Queen of Pentacles energy. This is your driving force. So think of this as what's going within, this is what's on without, I guess, and this is the action that's going to be taken. 1, 2, 3. As if you are protecting the Queen of Pentacles within yourself, with carrying these wands to the other side. That's like the journey that she asked you to go on in order to achieve what it is that you need in terms of your destiny. And you're doing it by any means necessary with whatever it is that you need to do. You're taking whatever options, you're going through whatever avenues, and you're removing any blockages whichever way you can. We've got that going on here with not showing your hand, gambling, taking a risk. You are being unapologetic about your approach to transcend these obstacles. You will get to the other side by any means necessary. I just keep repeating that. It's like you are going to do it, you're going to do it your way, and you're going to see it through. I do think it's interesting that we have this full moon in your 8th house, and we're seeing things like using deviousness in order to get to your result. And this 7 of Swords is also an Aquarian card. So here we are in Aquarius season, the season of your values and your money and your worth. And here we are looking at you now taking an Aquarian approach in terms of kind of doing things in a strategic, not showing your hand, Joker, magician kind of way. Because ultimately the Joker, and for DC fans out there, the Joker's archetype is the Aquarius, is an Aquarius. And so you're kind of going whichever way you can and taking whatever avenue you can possibly take in order to get to the other side. Especially because with the 8th house, there are burdens that you're going to be approaching and addressing during this transit, because that's what the Leo full moon is awakening in order to get you to a place of renewal for the Aquarius new moon. So I don't think there's anything wrong with this approach. Here we have your advice is collaborative dreaming with softly, softly, the tender touch. So you're relying on other people. It's important to rely on other people and to use whatever resources you can. You have to have a lot of compassion towards yourself. Be kind to yourself during this journey and whatever it is that you need to do in order to get out of the space of that I guess that is making you feel like your Queen of Pentacles is not getting what it is that she desires from you. So you're going to see through this other side. These wands will be carried, but you do so by connecting with other people and being kind to yourself. Self-criticism is not going to help you. Self-criticism is not going to save you in this moment. It's a deep sense of softness, personal alignment, and strategy. Strategy. You are entering a new phase. So this does not feel heavy in the least. It's not dark. It's not intense. It's just you have to do whatever it is that you have to do in order to get to the other side. Gamble, juggle, do anything you can in order to get to the place that you want to go. Don't be afraid to not only not show your hand, but kind of be the bad guy in the situation. Take on a bit of a villain mask. I wouldn't say to create any bad karma. I mean, it's at the 8th year. But just make sure you're not being afraid to put yourself first, because you're the one carrying these 10 wands. In your shadow, we've got fear with the 9 of wands, the Ace of Swords, and the World. So there is worry in terms of what it is that you can achieve. You're worried about being the wounded warrior. You're worried about almost kind of, dare I say, being found out as well. For some of you, almost like as if you take the wrong step or if you make the wrong move, would you be found out? Or is some kind of clarity or message going to come in that's going to distort whatever it is that you're trying to do? You're afraid of the completion of a cycle and you ending up wounded here on the other side. So maybe it is that you're carrying, whatever it is that you're carrying, whatever burdens it is that you're carrying, you're going to see through the end. And these fears that you have of, I guess, being found out or someone coming in and compromising your approach to something, or the bureaucracy having some kind of disturbance or frustration with your approach, is not going to happen. This is all in your head. You're not the wounded warrior. You will not be wounded. You're simply carrying these 10 wands to the other side in order to see through and transcend these obstacles so that your Queen of Pentacles can get what it is that she desires. You don't have to worry about the end of a cycle. Be kind to yourself. You're getting out of this stage, not moving toward it. In terms of your healing points, we've got, and also with softly, softly, the tender touch, how many of you are actually thinking that you're doing something wrong that you're more than likely not doing? It could simply be that you are so used to doing things by the book or doing things in a way that is so Capricorn Pluto, right? Like you're so used to someone telling you what you can and cannot do and feeling like everything has to be so red tape and so cautious and you always have these eyes on you. The great thing about Aquarian energy is Aquarius is not afraid to be the magician. Aquarius is not afraid to gamble, be the joker, play a game of poker. And it doesn't always have to mean that the tricks are so bad or the games played are just so evil. Sometimes it's okay to take a different approach and kind of laugh a bit about it. I think a lot of this is your own personal pressure that you're putting on yourself in terms of what, because again, softly, softly, the tender touch, rely on other people. Like, stop judging yourself so much for not doing things the conventional way or how it is that you have to get out of this situation. For Tantra, we have be open to what you think. Oh, come on, I can't even. Be open to that which seems unfamiliar or different. You will experience, this is very Aquarian reading, very Aquarian approach to your new life and what it is that you need to do in order to clean out this closet. Seems unfamiliar or different. You will experience a breakthrough as you embrace an unusual approach. You will experience a breakthrough as you embrace an unusual approach. You are on a soul path of accelerated spiritual growth, which is swifter but not always easier. And remember, I keep saying how now that we're in the Pluto Aquarius transit, everything is moving much faster. So returns on investments are faster. Literally everything, society, growth, you, what it is that you desire, everything is moving quickly. That is just the energy of Aquarius. And so this, whatever different approach that you have to take, whatever strategy that you have to put, it's going to get you to where it is that you want to go. It's going to take you to the other side. Be kind to yourself. It's okay. Okay, you're not breaking any major rules or anything like that. It's just, it's okay to take a different approach and do things your own way. You do not have to, which is swifter but not always easier. You do not have to contrive your own happiness, but you can dip into the bliss within your body to lighten your mental state and remind yourself everything is going to work out beautifully. I get that. There isn't any, that's Tantra right here. That is such, I don't even know what to say. You can't get any stronger than that in terms of, I don't even want to say relax, but it's more like be nice to yourself. It's okay. It's okay. Not every path to success is black and white. Not every road to success, or even just being able to put down burdens that look so rudimentary and so pretty and so perfect. It is working out exactly how it's meant to work out in order to see through you on the other side. Relax. Take a deep breath. Allow unconvention to change the way that you do things. Welcome to the new age. Welcome to the new era. This is the beginning of you having to learn how to do this strategically in this space of your second house, your values, your finances, your worth, who it is that you want to be with. This is the beginning of you having to learn your patterns now for the next 20 years about how it is that you get what it is that you want. And you get what it is that you want by doing things differently. Not being afraid to take a different approach, an underhanded approach. I don't want you to look at this Seven of Swords and think that you're, being this terrible. No, the Seven of Swords, the Aquarian card, it's about strategic thinking. Yes, on the low vibrational sense, it's someone who's stealing, getting away with something. But in terms of what's going on with you, you're taking a multitude of approaches in order to get this burden released. Because no one is going to release this burden but you. And when you work with other people and you find out different strategies and you do things a different way and you're nice to yourself, stay nice to yourself, because it sucks. And whatever it is that you're dealing with, it's a difficult situation, obviously, because you're carrying these burdens. Underneath you is a lot of confidence because you know you are this Queen of Pentacles energy and you know what it is that you want and desire for yourself, but you have to get rid of all of these damn wands. You have to go on a mission statement here in order to get rid of these so this energy can shine. And there's only one way to go about it. You cannot do it in the traditional way, in the lugging way. It's not possible. It's too much. So allow a different approach. Allow things to be different. Allow people to tell you of different ways to go about things as well. And when you remove self-judgment, you open the doors for a whole new world, a whole new life, and a whole new way of thinking and being. So in terms of telepathy of Terra Mater, the pathway for your spiritual fulfillment is the sacred manifestation of your purpose. It is not necessarily logical and will evolve organically. Okay, so I will say that again. The pathway for your spiritual fulfillment and the sacred manifestation of your purpose is not necessarily logical and will evolve organically. That in combination. So in terms of these cards, for me, I base them on color in terms of the element that they invoke. This is a fire card for me, and this is an air card for me. Fire and air, the elements that live and breathe through Aquarian energy, taking a different approach, connecting with others, being kind to yourself. Even that is a different approach because most of the time you're not nice to yourself. Transcend obstacles in a different way. The pathway for your spiritual fulfillment and the sacred manifestation of your purpose is not necessarily logical and will evolve organically. The skillful and unpredictable workings of the Earth Mother are supporting your soul journey unconditionally. Following up on inspired ideas and allowing for unexpected shifts in direction are integral to the manifestation of your soul purpose. Commit to an idea that feels good to your heart, even if it seems improbable or unattainable, it will manifest successfully. So whatever it is that you're going on, this burden that you're carrying that's like a cloud over your Queen of Pentacles energy will see through its end. But it sees through its end when you release self-judgment, okay? And you're kinder to yourself as you allow yourself to evolve and grow within this new narrative of how to go about different situations. Even if it's as simple as other people have some secrets about how to do it. You thought it had to be one way, and then you start talking to other people and you're letting other people help you, and you realize that it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And all of these different people are here to assist you and help you on your journey of doing something that you thought was going to be really difficult. You're carrying all these burdens, you're doing it alone, you're tired, you're scared, you're all of these things, and look at all of these different solutions to your problems. You have to let go of the way you're judging yourself, because through self-judgment, you'll cut off your own wings. You'll cut your own limbs trying to tell yourself that you have to do something one way, and that if you don't do it that way, then you lose all integrity, you lose all sense of self-worth, you lose all sense of dignity, and oh, how dare I approach this in a way that is not so right, and let all of that go. Okay? Let it all fall down. Let it all fall by the wayside. This energy feels very light. I'll tell you right now, within me, I don't feel anything heavy. I don't feel anything heavy. I feel anxiety. I feel worry. You're afraid of some big cycle. But again, this isn't the death card. You know, you're just afraid of what the world will bring. You're afraid of what cycle will end, what cycle will happen. You're afraid of a big shift taking place because of something you did not do right, or some kind of news, or some kind of clarity, or some kind of judgment on you. You're afraid of being the wounded warrior. Release all of this anxiety, because all of this will see through itself. You connect with others and allow things to be unconventional. They're not going to be in the way that you're used to them being. It's not going to turn out the way that you expect it to turn out, and that's actually a good thing. There are things that you cannot see, but they come forth through strategy. And that's what this full moon energy is going to bring forth to you. So you're going to be ending January in a sense where you're putting down the burdens of the past, closing karmic cycles, but you're doing it in a way that you did not expect to do it. It's going to come full circle for you in a way that might make you nervous. I feel a lot of insecurity, fear going on here. But it'll work out, as it always does. And it brings forth a new beginning, which is also wonderful as well. And so yeah, it's coming full circle with this energy. But okay, Capricorn, that is your reading. I love you. Ciao.